Hello everyone and welcome to a Monster Musume Explained video. Today's video will be about the Arachne. The Arachne are a carnivorous, monogender demi-human liminal race that have a female humanoid torso but are attached at the hips to the body of a giant spider. They are physically strong, agile, and fast. Arachne are most noted for being able to create a silk that is 5 times stronger than steel and twice as elastic as nylon. They can also produce variants of the silk ranging from sticky to stretchy to tough to suit whatever situation is required. While most commonly used to catch and bind prey, Arachne can also use their silk to form a network of threads to sense vibrations and even outright listen in on conversations at a distance and through windows. Known for creating community nests within dark forests and deep caves and caverns, the Arachne are reputed for being deadly towards humans. Famed for using their webs for entrapping men and women and killing them through either eating them whole or biting into their skin and sucking out their bodily juices like a spider. This reputation arose due to the Arachne's natural predatory abilities and form, and due to their behavior being a female-only race, luring men to their hidden dwellings and holding them for mating in order to survive as a species, using their webs to restrain the men should they resist. As stories of groups of men being captured by Arachne are rare, it is presumed that on average multiple Arachne would have to mate with a single male, although it is unknown whether they do so in groups like the Lamia or individually, with the man being shared/passed from one Arachne to another. Additionally, it is unknown whether the Arachne that captured a male has first rights to mating with/owning them, or if men are caught to be shared by the nest, or if the leader of a given group gets first rights to him. Since the cultural exchange between species bill, government agencies have put a stop to the Arachne practice of luring and kidnapping men against their will due to being a federal offense, and likely freed any men they had who didn't wish to stay. While this fortunately put an end to the kidnappings and sexual assaults of human men, the results were not positive for the Arachne species, who need men to reproduce. Presumably, the Arachne birth rate has declined dramatically due to this. In an attempt to evolve their culture to become more open, Arachne nests have taken to sending expeditionary forces via the exchange program for the purpose of finding out whether or not Arachne and humans can coexist as equals, despite the Arachne's intimidating appearance and generally reticent behavior and humanity's tendency to vilify anything indifferent from themselves. Arachne tend to be prideful and closed off emotionally, being generally against changing their behavior or playing nice to accommodate others, but can be surprisingly empathetic and reliable friends and lovers if someone earns their trust. Even then, outside of being with these trusted friends, Arachne often prefer to stay at home in the shadows or away from the busier areas of social gatherings. The Arachne's traditional craft is knitting, which they have honed after repurposing their abilities from typical web spinning. Arachne have a marking on their secondary abdomen, and every marking on each Arachne is as unique as the fingerprints on humans. Each Arachne is born with this unique pattern on their opistosoma/spider abdomen. However, Arachne that are members of the same tribe seem to have similar patterns, even with some individual differences. The average Arachne have 6 eyes, but the number can vary between species/subspecies or individuals. Arachne can see ultraviolet rays with their eyes. Arachne bodies are covered by a hard, though light, exoskeleton. They possess sharp claws on the ends of their fingers, which are used to cut open prey, and as such can easily cut human skin. Like a majority of the larger monster species, Arachne tend to have large breasts. Arachne also have 2 sets of lungs, a set of lungs in their human torso that are like a human's, and a set of lungs in their spider abdomen called book lungs, that all arachnids have, that absorb oxygen into the body from the environment without the Arachne needing to breathe in or out. While typical spiders use their pedipalp limbs, the 2 frontmost limbs, to assist in eating like typical human hands, the Arachne's pedipalp limbs do not reach their mouth, plus they have actual hands for holding food. So it is believed that the primary purpose of the pedipalps is to hold their mates in place during intercourse, as due to the Arachne's genitalia being located between their pedipalp legs. The legs could easily assist in sexual intercourse. Like spiders, Arachne can get drunk from ingesting caffeine. In return, however, Arachne are immune to alcohol. However, decaffeinated coffee can be drunk by Arachne without issue. While possessing a primary spinneret at the rear of their opistosoma/spider abdomen, from which they are able to produce and emit silk like a typical spider, Arachne also possess spinnerets in their wrists which can emit silk in a similar manner. It is unknown whether the different spinnerets can emit different types of silk at different lengths, thicknesses, and strengths, or if they possess the same capabilities and the Arachne simply prefers to use whichever spinneret is convenient. Arachne silk is a rare and valuable commodity. While it has been shown that Arachne can produce and gather enough of their silk themselves to sell, it has been demonstrated that Arachne can also have their silk siphoned directly from their spinneret by machine. The process of having their silk siphoned out of their spinneret is pleasurable and arousing for the Arachne. This supports the notion that an Arachne's rear spinneret is a sensitive erogenous zone. However, not all Arachne subspecies produce silk. As their silk is mainly composed of protein, Arachne require a protein-rich diet to maintain their silk production. All Arachne are also proficient in bondage, as it has uses in mating and in tying up prey during hunting. Tying others up is also noted to be an outright compulsion for their species, as much an outlet for their predatory drives as it is their sex drives, and so depending on context, the Arachne may regard the session of bondage in a completely non-sexual way. Because of their arthropod nature, Arachne are very sensitive to both high and low temperatures. Higher heat or cold, with which beings like humans or sensors would still feel comfortable with, would already be too extreme for an Arachne. It is not known if Arachne are also cold-blooded, but they do hibernate and may also die if the ambient temperature is too low. An Arachne's second abdomen is also large and strong enough to hold substantial weight, but doing so appears to be rather uncomfortable for the Arachne, so riding on them has not been seen. Now, when it comes to the Arachne subspecies, there are a total of 4, that being the small breeds, the long leg breeds, the large breeds, and the Gerogomo. The small breed subspecies is smaller in size than the standard Arachne. Their legs are short, but they can move much faster than the standard Arachne, and they are good at jumping and full of energy. Instead of spinning webs, these Arachne wander around on the ground and leap all over in search of prey. They can produce thread, but they only use it to make safety lines to stop their descent in case they fall or misjudge a jump. The long leg breeds are a large subspecies with thinner and longer legs than standard Arachne. These large Arachne are mild-mannered. They cannot produce thread, but they move surprisingly quickly to secure their prey. Their hunting instincts are so powerful that they will sometimes abandon the prey that they have captured to pursue new prey, as they are especially uncompromising regarding the extermination of household pests. They are respectfully known among those troubled by such pests as sergeants. The large breed subspecies is far more heavily built than standard Arachne, with thick legs and a covering of hair. They are very wild and aggressive. In addition to being strong, they also have a venom, making them extremely dangerous to approach without caution. That being said, however, said venom is not particularly strong nor harmful. They are not well suited to interspecies exchange programs, as when they have interacted with humans, they were arrested for assaulting them and causing other problems. The Gerogomo are a demi-human species of spider women originating from Japanese mythology. According to folklore, the species are said to be spiders that can change their appearances into that of beautiful women due to gaining magical powers after turning 400 years old. Depicted as being skilled at entrapping their prey, Gerogomo possess many of the same traits as an Arachne, such as possessing 6 eyes, a light exoskeleton, and the ability to produce webs. However, while an Arachne has the upper body of a human and the full lower body of a spider, a Gerogomo possesses a fully humanoid body with a spider abdomen extending from the base of their spine, but no spider prosoma. Also, in addition to their humanoid arms being covered in an exoskeleton, they have 6 fully dexterous spider legs attached to their upper back, which they can hide beneath their clothing should they choose. And that will conclude this video. If you made it this far into the video, I appreciate it a lot, and like always, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.